Hey guys, thank you all so much for checking out this video. If you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button. I have multiple videos coming out daily, and this series for this summer is going to actually be training a rescue horse. This summer, I have a rescue horse, Soleil. He is with the Bluebonnet Equine Humane Society, and we will be competing in a training challenge that will also tie into the Bluebonnet Horse Expo at the end of October, which is the date's going to be October 20th, 2018. This is going to be held in Austin, Texas, and if you're interested in tickets and more information, check out my links below, or even send me a message on here or even Facebook. Let me know and I can help you out there with that. It's going to be a fun event, a tack sale, tack auction, a whole bunch of stuff. Clinicians are going to be talking half off adoptions. Ooh, I just said it, half off adoptions. So if you're interested in Soleil, he's going to be actually half off at the expo. Follow his progress here. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Help me out here, and let's get going. Okay, so here I'm actually going to introduce the legacy boot. So before this, I had done a lot of groundwork, lots of desensitizing, things like that. So now I'm ready to put my legacy boots on. So I did notice that he does kick and strike out when you add a lot of pressure on his legs. So I wanted to be wary of this. So make sure that you're standing in a correct spot to where you can't get kicked, and make sure to pay attention to that surroundings. So before being a predator, I don't want to just be a predator, run up to my horse and throw these boots on. So when you watch, I'm walking up to him, petting him with him, making sure he's okay with me touching down his body, and then I'm actually going down his leg, rubbing him with my hands, rubbing him with the legacy boots, and making sure he's okay with that, then going through and velcroing it on. You want to make sure you do this so you're not being a predator. Typical predator move is to just run on and throw them on, and that might spook your horse a little bit. He definitely seems to be a reactive horse. He's definitely nervous around different things, needs a lot of confidence in his life. So being a predator is the last thing I want to do. I want to think like a prey animal, not a predator. And you can actually see like he doesn't like that on his back foot there. Alright, and the biggest thing I want to see right here, I'm moving him off the fence. Why? Because the fence doesn't move, but the horse does, and the horse is like 1,000 pounds. So think about common logic there. If your horse spooks towards you and you get right into the fence isn't going to move for you. So that can be a bad situation there. So make sure you're not trapped between you and the horse, the fence and the horse. So just rubbing them down, being weary of my surroundings, making sure I'm in the no kick zone just in case, and then proceeding through. And that's the exact reason why you want to be in that no kick zone. I kind of was pretty slow right there. And then just because it's funny to watch, here is him with these new boots on, because it's just kind of funny when they get new equipment on them and how they act around it. So after that, I kind of did a lot of four quarters movement. This is kind of about 20 minutes after teaching him. He had a really hard time on getting on his butt and actually crossing over. He just kind of did side to side kind of movements, and that's not what I want. So I'm actually having him pick his shoulder up and over that there. We did a lot of hindquarters and things like that, but kind of just showing you the progress on this. He's actually getting up and over, and I did a couple steps for today. Usually day one I do 1 to 2, maybe 3 steps, and then I gradually add on more and make it more perfect. So tomorrow I'm going to kind of expect a little bit more. That first ultimate step, my goal for this would be the first step for him to actually cross over instead of side then over. And then for the joys of saddling. So Soleil has actually been saddled before. I did notice doing this, he stood still for most of it. However, he was very iffy about it. You could tell he didn't have much confidence in it. I tell people all the time the worst absolute thing that can go absolutely wrong is the saddle falling off of the horse, or if you're doing a first ride, falling off. That just mentally really messes up a colt. This horse has bucked off pretty much everyone that's been on him. He's not had a successful ride yet, to my knowledge. His foster home said they tried riding him, and he threw them 20 feet in the air, and they said, yeah, no, we're not doing this. He was in the professional division last year, and in no means or way through this progress, please do not think that I am bashing anyone that has trained him. This is a difficult horse, and, you know, it could have been the same way if I was in their shoes. So I am just kind of seeing these holes, trying to fix them, and putting my own training program in there. Everybody trains different, and that's what's so amazing about the horsemanship world. So moving on from there, so I did find a couple of holes. He's very snorty with this. His ears were sideways. He was very iffy on it, but did allow me to put the saddle on. It wasn't anything that I didn't think was dangerous. I didn't think it was dangerous at all. You could just tell he kind of had this iffy thing that, is the saddle going to fall? Like, am I going to do something wrong? He's definitely a horse that doesn't like to be wrong. He wants to try 110% for you, and if he does something wrong, he's definitely takes it to heart, which I really like because he does have that heart of wanting to try. So I think we're going to get along great. So here I was just kind of warning him that I'm going to girth it up. I never want to just ultimately start saddling up my horse and girthing them up right away, because I want to make sure that I'm not fully committed just in case the horse does panic. So he actually starts backing here. Had I have already made that second loop, I would have been stuck and not able to just pull that saddle off. So I just leave the ladder go in there for one loop. I don't go through that second loop again, so I just pull up and down, and if he moves, I can still take the saddle off without any worry. So once I do that, then I go ahead, and you have just a couple of, you really want to get in and get out. You don't want to be super fast, but you don't want to be super slow. Get in, get out, and that way your colt's not like, why is she taking so long? Should I spook? Should I react? You know, you want the colt to pay attention to you and not lose their motives or attention span there. You kind of think of like a 4-year-old when you take them out. They don't really have a long attention span. They're just kind of like, what's this, what's that, what's this? That's kind of the same thing with the colt. So when you're throwing saddles on them, make sure to get in, get out, and get them going. And ultimately, I think he was good at saddling. I went ahead on his report card evaluation thing. I didn't put that he was a 10 on saddling, mainly because he was iffy on it. He did back up. He didn't stand perfect. And I don't think, to me, saddling 10 perfect would be, I could move that horse with me just standing there and him allow me to put that saddle on with, and he moved for me rather than me move for him. So I'm going to go ahead and send him off. I allowed him to walk because I kind of switched this in my training program. Used to, I'd force the horse to at least leave at a trot. I've noticed that kind of makes horses a little nervous sometimes with the saddle, so I allowed them to leave off at a walk and then go ahead and trot them. But I only do this on the first saddling until they are really comfortable accepting that saddle. He did really well at the walk, trot, and canter, and I want you to watch here. I actually moved to lunging stage 2, and he starts bucking. However, he catches himself, stops, and does it again, stops, and does it again, stops. So I definitely know he knows that's not the right thing to do, but he's still iffy on something. There's a hole somewhere that's telling him to buck. So I wanted to make sure to figure out that hole throughout this series and make it to where he does not buck. I do know there's a lot of confidence issues in with this horse with how nervous and reactive he is. There's a lot of holes on his hindquarters. He was very stiff on his hindquarters. He was very nervous around his hindquarters, especially his back feet and his flank area. That's a big iffy thing there, so we're definitely going to focus on that a lot. But other than that, that was the only time he bucked. It wasn't anything bad, but definitely not going to give him a perfect 10 for that. Just because he did offer to buck. He's not turning as fast as I'd like him to be, and he's not as fast and quick to move as I'd like him to be. I want it to be when I point, you go, rather than him kind of being kind of lazy and me having to get after him with the rope. And then we just kind of, we did a lot of other groundwork. He had about 5 hours of training total for day 1. With a couple breaks in between there. I didn't just run him for 5 hours. I don't want anybody to go, oh my gosh, this lady's crazy. She ran him for 5 hours. No, we did a lot of walking, a lot of stopping, a lot of breaks, and just kind of spending time to get to knowing each other. So we did a lot of different things in here, but I did want to update on this so y'all can see it. I'm going to do some how-to videos with these videos that are coming up. Do a lot of them throughout the series, so definitely make sure to check those out. And thank y'all so much for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button to follow our progress as well as our other progresses. Is that even a word? Make sure to hit that subscribe button to follow our progress, and I hope to see y'all next time. Thank y'all so much.